You are now listening to the Girl Organize That Life podcast. Coach L3.
Hi, welcome to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, the premier space for high-achieving moms, mompreneurs, and lady leaders who are ready to stop surviving and start strategically living. I'm your host, Leslie Latimore-Lorfils, proud mother of 12 incredible children, senior Army veteran with nearly 3 decades of distinguished service, certified transformational trainer, and founder of Girl Organize That Life. And around here, we do more than juggle. We build, we lead, we rise. Each week, we dive into faith-fueled strategies, powerful mindset shifts, and purpose-driven business tactics designed to help you activate your next level. Whether you're navigating boardrooms or bedtime routines, our signature 8-step GPS system guides you to clarity, structure, and sustainable success. Because, sis, you are not just busy, you're called. This is where overwhelm meets order, where vision meets velocity, and where women like you boldly declare, I'm enough. So if you're ready to organize your life, scale your impact, and create legacy level freedom, let's get into it. Your elevation starts now. Hey, family. Welcome back to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, the Summit Edition. This season has been so electric. And why? Because we're not just talking concepts. We're showcasing real voices, real stories, and strategies from powerhouse women and men at the Get Going Girl Summit. So good. It's going to be so juicy. If you've been tuning in already, then you've already heard some of our amazing speakers pouring wisdom into us, right? Pouring wisdom into us. And today, before we get into the next wave of powerhouse voices, I just wanted to pause and, share a word straight from my heart, straight from my heart about our theme this year, which is legacy in motion, all right? Because here's the truth. Here's the truth. Legacy isn't something you leave one day. Legacy is something you live every single day. And I think we tend to forget that we only focus on, when I pass away, when I leave this earthly realm and transition and transcend to the heavenly realm, what assets and things do I leave behind? But legacy is part of who we are on a daily basis. Okay, so let's talk about what does legacy in motion really mean. When the people hear the word legacy, they ought to think about that end of life, like I was just saying, like an inheritance, a business that's handed down, or even a reputation. But I want us to shift that thinking. Legacy isn't a someday word. Okay. Legacy is a right now word. Let me say that again. Legacy is not a someday word. It is a right now word. Every choice that you make, every conversation you have with your children, every decision you make in your business or career is already a part of your legacy, right? You don't want to wait to build it. Okay. You're shaping it daily, whether you realize it or not. And I think that's the part that sometimes we forget. We get caught up on the end of life stuff. So when we say legacy in motion, we're talking about being intentional. We're talking about moving with purpose. Okay. We're talking about making decisions today that will ripple through tomorrow. What you decide today will absolutely affect how your tomorrow will be. It's about asking yourself, what will my children, my community, my clients, my colleagues say they gained because I was here? That is a huge question. And I don't think many of us sit and really ponder and think about it. We get up in the morning, we put one foot on the floor in front of the other, and we go on about our day. But are we really thinking about what my actions will do to affect somebody else? Probably not. For me, as a wife, as a mother of 12, as a military leader, and now as a coach and an entrepreneur, legacy is not just about assets. It's about impact. Let me say it again. For me, it's not just about assets. It's about impact. And I want you to catch that too. Legacy is less about what you leave and more about what you deposit along the way. Hello? What is it that you're doing now that's going to have such a profound effect on those that are around you, that those that who surround you? All right. So that is so critical. And so in that, let's talk about 3 pillars of legacy emotion. Let's talk about that for a second. Let me break this down in 3 simple pillars that you can start reflecting on right now as you listen. Pillar number 1, legacy of presence. Ooh, like, what does that mean? It's not just about being in the room. It's about how you show up. It's about your children, your team, your community. They remember your presence more than your perfection. Oh my gosh, right? Sometimes the most powerful legacy is the way that you make people feel when you were with them. Pillar number 2, legacy of principles. Ooh, every time I say these, it's like, oh, wow. What do you stand for? What non-negotiables guide your life? For me, faith is the bedrock. Like, that is a non-negotiable, period. I'm not moving anything without that. Nothing moves without that, right? Non-negotiable. Integrity, resilience, and service have guided me through my military career and now into business. When you live out your principles consistently, you create a roadmap for others to follow. People will remember you if you were a person of integrity, if you were a person of consistency, if people can depend on your word and what you say you will do. That's legacy. And that's an everyday thing. And then pillar number 3, legacy of progress. This one is huge. And why is that? Legacy is not about being perfect. And hey, listen, I still deal with this too. So let's be clear. Okay. It's about moving forward. Your children, your community, they don't need to see you never fail. They don't need to see you never fall. That's not reality. They need to see you get back up. Progress inspires others more than perfection ever could. Why do you think God was able to use so many people in the Bible that were severely flawed? So you may be somebody that's like, I don't know, do I have impacts in me? Yes. Anybody that has experienced life on any level where it was challenging, that's impact in the making. So that is a part of your legacy. Sit in that for a moment. Sit in that for a moment. Ask yourself. So ask yourself, what kind of presence am I giving? What principles am I modeling? And what progress am I showing? Even in the hard seasons. That's legacy in motion, friends. That's legacy in motion. Listen, as we journey through this summer edition of the podcast, okay, I want you to really lean in, not just for the tips and the tools, but to the stories. Okay, every speaker you hear has a legacy in motion, and I want you to sit with this question: what is your story? What is your life story telling right now? What is it telling right now? And not the story that you hope to tell one day, not the story that you will write in a will, not a story that you might write in a book, but the one that you're living right now. As you go to the grocery store and you're shopping, and you might have something on your mind, and maybe there's a grimace look that comes across your face, and the lady that's down the aisle is watching you because something about your presence caused her to be enamored by you, but then she saw this grimace look on your face, and not because something is wrong, but because maybe you're in deep thought. But I'm just saying, that's a story that's being told without you realizing that it's being told. What is your life story telling right now? Maybe your story is about resilience. Maybe it's about reinvention. Maybe it's about rebuilding. Whatever it is, know this: your story matters, and it's leaving an imprint. Your story matters, and it's leaving an imprint. And here's the good news. If you don't like the story that you're telling today, oh my gosh, you have the power to pivot. We talk about pivoting with poise here, right? You have the power to pivot. That's the beauty of motion. It's not about being stuck, it's about shifting forward. That is so good, even to me. Now, before I wrap up this segment, because this wasn't meant to be long and drawn out, this was to kind of just pop in and say, hey, remember to lean in. This is summit season.
Let's be clear, this isn't another feel-good event. The Get Going Girl Summit is where overwhelm becomes organized and purpose meets plan. You'll walk away with the exact framework high-level women are using to stop the burnout spiral and scale with structure. Imagine having peace in your home and profit in your business. If you're ready to trade exhaustion for execution, this room was built just for you. Grab your tickets today because they are going. Let's get going, girl.
I want to leave you with something tangible that you can actually use. Here are 3 reflection questions that I want you to sit with this week. Number 1, presence. When people are around me, make it personal. When people are around me, family, friends, team members, what do they consistently feel? Is it stress? Is it encouragement? Is it distraction or joy? Sit in that. Reflection question number 2 has to do with principles. Because these are the 3 pillars of legacy that we talked about. What values do I live by daily that I want to be remembered for? Am I modeling them clearly in front of the people who matter the most? If I could be transparent right here, I'm going to pause right here and I'm going to tell you something very real and raw. Because it is summit season, me as a CEO, me as someone that always wants to deliver anything in excellence, I like to execute in excellence. I'm in go mode. I am in the zone. I am in do not distract me zone. Okay. And my 6-year-old came to me this evening and he says, Mommy, XYZ, XYZ. And as I'm working, I'm answering him and I'm redirecting him. I'm getting him, I'm telling him, go lay down on the bed, go chill out, And then he asked me about, I think he said something about he was bored or something. I don't know. I forgot what he said, but it triggered me. It triggered me and it took me somewhere. And in that moment, I was not a nice mommy. I'm gonna be very honest because somebody is needing to hear this because somebody's going through it or they have experienced it or they will. And the next thing I knew, I had kind of lost my bearing a little bit and my voice was elevated with the 6-year-old. And I'm like, OMG, because I'm in the go zone. I'm trying to focus and I'm trying to do what I got to do. And the 6-year-old needed what he needed. But what triggered me was something he said. It made me feel like, wow, is he being ungrateful in this moment? It would have something to do with he was bored. And the next thing I know, I had popped off saying wait, you're in this huge house. You have all these things that you could be doing. And what are you bored? And so I went there, but I was convicted right after I fussed at him because I fussed at him. What he was needing from me probably was my presence, which is part of my daily legacy. So I calmed down and got back to doing whatever my task was because I had by then sent him on his way. And eventually he circled right back to me. Bless my baby. Because I'm mommy, he wants my presence. And I was able to get him his sister's Chromebook so he could be occupied while I finished. But I promise you, when I'm done, we are going to go and cuddle. And he is going to get my presence. And not only will he get my presence, he is going to get my fierce presence and a huge apology because I don't want my children to ever think that anything I have going on comes before them because it absolutely does not. And I hope that frees somebody. And I'm sharing that with you because I am human and I slip up at times
And that was a moment for me that just happened. And I'm sharing that with you because I want to free you, and I want to remind you of how important your legacy is, and how important that the story that you're writing on a daily basis, what is it telling? What is it telling? Okay. So what values are you living by, and are they showing up with the people that matter the most? And the last part of this reflection questionnaire, progress, that's the third pillar. Where in my life do I need to stop chasing perfection and just show consistent progress? Oh, because we all walk around with this disease of perfectionism. It is a disease, folks. Okay. Where do I do that? All right. And don't just think these. Okay. I want you to write them down, journal them, or talk them out with somebody that you trust. Do that. All right. Here's your summit homework. Choose one area of your life, whether it's home, work, or community, and make one intentional choice this week that aligns with the legacy you want to live. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's showing up undistracted at dinner with your family, like put the phone down. Okay. Maybe it's having a values-based conversation with your team. Maybe it's taking one step forward on a goal that you've been trying to do and that you've been kicking the can down the road, another word for postponing or procrastinating on. And then after you do that, I want you to celebrate yourself for it, because you deserve that. Because that right there is legacy. That's legacy. And so as we get ready for this next lineup of incredible voices for the Summit Edition, I want you to remember this. You don't have to wait for later to live your legacy. You don't have to be perfect to leave an impact. Legacy in motion means that with every step, with every word, with every choice, okay, you're already creating something that will outlive you. You're already creating something that will outlive you. I want you to hold on to that. And I want you to keep tuning in. And hey, if you haven't grabbed your ticket yet, please grab your ticket. Come and meet us at the summit. This isn't just an event. It is a time. It is an experience that's going to shift you. It's going to shift your life. And quite frankly, it is going to blow your mind, your business, and your legacy. It is absolutely going to do that. All right. So I want you to do that. Okay, let's get back into the Summit Edition. More wisdom, more power, and more legacy in motion is coming your way. Let's go. Meantime, in between time, I want you to remember to pivot with poise despite the noise. And oh, by the way, just so you know, before we leave, that reflection sheet will be in the show notes for your disposal and for your convenience. And if this episode resonates with you, or any episode at the Girl Organize That Life podcast, please like, please share with the world, have them to come and tune in and listen to us. We are here to serve. We are here to give value, and we are here to edify your life. Pivot with poise despite the noise, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Girl Organize That Life podcast, where clarity meets calling and powerhouse women rise with purpose. If today's episode lit a fire in you, don't just keep it to yourself. Subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another boss woman who's ready to live boldly and lead with grace. And if you're craving even more tools, truths, and next level strategies, join our inner circle. Head to girlorganizethatlife.com to get exclusive content, priority access to upcoming events, and the kind of faith-fueled inspiration that keeps you grounded and growing. Remember, you don't have to hustle for your worth. You were born for this. Stay rooted in faith, anchored in purpose, and always pivot with poise despite the noise. Until next time, girl, organize that life and live it boldly. Bye for now.
Coach L3.